Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Today's game features two skilled wide receivers who happen to be two of the best route runners in the league. It's Antonio Brown going up against Julian Edelman. The opening kick is straight ahead, so it's time to turn it over to my colleagues, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis with the call. Gentlemen.
All right, Larry, thanks. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Today, two AFC teams set to do battle as we've got a good one in store between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New England Patriots. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Garoppolo. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Call it a pick. Up of 7, and it'll make it a second down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Now a first carry for LeGarrette Blount. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. For LeGarrette Blount, Charles, he's had a good preseason so far. In week 2, 11 carries, 69 yards, and a touchdown. Looked pretty sharp.
And Jimmy Garoppolo, who will have to start the season at quarterback, may have to lean on him an awful lot. They've had some injury issues. Dion Lewis, a running back, is out for at least another month after a recent surgery. And they lost their starting right tackle, Sebastian Vollmer. Luckily, LeGarrette Blount can often run through some tacklers.
Throwing on first down is Brady. Got a man complete. It's Chris Hogan. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Brady gives now to Blount, and they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And we roll now on the offensive starters, and everybody always loves to talk about Gronk.
And wouldn't a lot of teams love to redraft right now? This guy went in the 2nd round, yet no matter what, you've got a game plan for him when you're opposing him.
Now a carry for the shifty Dion Lewis. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. The tackle made by the linebacker, Arthur Moats. And a look at the Steelers' defensive unit.
Cameron Hayward is a defensive lineman, but many of us, especially guys of my vintage, remember his father, Craig Ironhead Hayward, who was a running back. I think Cameron decided he'd rather hit people than be hit.
From the gun on 3rd down, Brady. And he will find his man. That's Hogan complete. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Now Blount. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. On second down, here's Brady. Sets up the screen to Lewis. A good pick up there of 20 yards. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And this is caught. It's Edelman. Now, Edelman, of course, Charles, along with Gronk, the top two targets for the Pats, but they've got some other guys in the mix as well, don't they?
Martellus Bennett, who came to the Patriots in the offseason, he can be one of the top tight ends in the league. And Chris Hogan has been sensational in preseason play. But let's face it, you've got to love Julian Edelman. He's a smaller guy, but he plays like he's the same size as Gronk.
It's not the size of the dog in the fight.
Not at all.
It's the size of the fight in the dog. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
But when it comes to the running game, the New England Patriots, they're one of the few teams in the NFL that I don't think care much about balancing things out.
Last year, to your point, 5th in passing yardage, number 30 in the run game.
What they want to do each and every week is make a game plan based on their opponent, not so much their own personnel, and they try to attack that way.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
And the seemingly endless drive continues. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Brady throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Gronkowski the intended target, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass, excellent job. Way to knock it down.
2nd and goal from the 5. Brady gives this one to Lewis. And he is in. Touchdown, New England. Dion Lewis, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Patriots drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. And he gets it to make it 7-0 Patriots. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. And he'll get it up the middle. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. And for Le'Veon Bell, a little bit of good news for he and the Steelers with that suspension being lessened from 4 games to 3 recently.
And not that he needed any extra motivation because he is rehabbing a knee injury from last year. But that'll speed things up knowing that he can come back now for the Week 4 game against Kansas City.
That one goes for 13 yards and it moves the sticks.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
This offense has some speed, and certainly Martavis Bryant, he has some speed.
He has that, and he has size. That's what makes him so difficult to cover, because just when you think you have to play him one way, the other attribute kicks in. Martavis Bryant could be an all-star real soon.
On second down, it's Bell. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy. An extra corner on the field for New England here on 3rd down.
Yeah, another DB. Here's Roethlisberger, and able to find Green. A gain of 11 and a first down. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2, and they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. play action here on first down. And that will be caught, but out of bounds. Out of bounds, ruled incomplete here.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And this one complete to Marcus Wheaton. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And partner, a nice little connection there on the corner route.
The receiver set it up perfectly, worked his way inside, and then broke it back to the outside for the completion.
A give to the fullback on the dive. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Good solid gain on first down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Back to the ground, this time with Bell. Evades the tackler, and now some space. A good pickup there at 22.
It's funny, partner. Le'Veon Bell, when he came out of Michigan State, when I go back and look at my analysis of him and what my grades were for him, thought he was a big-time player, great potential, but I didn't know we were going to get this player. I was used to a big, solid, thick running back, but now I've got a full package, a guy who can do everything, as we just saw there, including breaking tackles.
But at the time, 2nd-round pick in 2013, some people probably wishing they'd taken him in the 1st. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here, back to the 2.
So often you hear defensive coaches talk about we need all 11 on every play in order to be a good run-stopping unit. And sometimes it starts to sound a little cliche. But did you see the free safety on that play? Knifing through and running down the ball carrier. A huge, huge play.
And it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown from a yard out. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Brady to throw on 2nd down. Over the middle, Julian Edelman. It's complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who can make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert him to being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. From midfield, here's Brady. And over the middle to the tight end, Bennett. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Have we yet met a receiver that wasn't excited about getting a chance to play with Tom Brady?
Absolutely not.
And Martellus Bennett bringing his considerable skills to New England now. Going to hook up with Mr. Brady for another completion here.
Yeah, 90 catches a couple years ago in Chicago, 53 last year for Bennett. This is Lewis. And he stopped immediately there. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up the defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Now Brady throwing on 2nd down. Looking for Amendola, and it's intercepted. And look out, I think he's going to go. The 20. And he brings this one back. It's a pick-6 for a Steeler touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So the Patriots coming out now. And last time, decent field position through the pick-6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Two minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Foxborough after this. Now they'll run with Lewis. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block.
Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw.
Here we go. Hey, watch it.
Brady going to try and throw on 3rd down. And he'll have his man. That's Edelman. And give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
On 1st down, Brady. And right side, caught, Hogan. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Throwing on 1st down is Brady. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it 2nd down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Brady to throw again. Wide open receiver complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Ah, yes, Brady to Gronk. You think these two are in sync?
Without a doubt. And look, they both understand what they can do for each other. Gronk knows if he gets open, the ball's going to be there. And Tom Brady knows what a great security blanket Gronk is. When all else fails, you find big 87.
Brady now on 1st down. And this is caught. It's Edelman. And he's brought down. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. First and goal, defense with their backs against the wall. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out?
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Mitchell. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Fighting through. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. They come up in an offset eye. Now Roethlisberger. Green's got it over the middle. And he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Escaping the pressure right. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And a play like that, with how far he had to go to make that sack, shows how athletic defensive ends have become in the NFL.
And not just athletic, this is coached in a big way. Run to the football at all times. How about him never giving up on it and pursuing all the way across the field?
A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. He's got time. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he eventually goes down, but not before reaching the 30-yard line. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. They'll go back to the ground with Bell. And a short gain here down to the 22. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
And Boswell's kick is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So put another 3 on the board, and all things considered, a good opening drive here to begin the third quarter.
It sure was. I think as a head coach, you're happy to come out and put a little drive together, take the 3 points, and build on your lead.
So here are the Patriots now. They get ready for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And with a little breathing room here after the incompletion, I know you and I were chuckling yesterday. How about the reporter asking Jim Caldwell where he would play Usain Bolt? He said, of course, receiver at 6'5".
I think Jim Caldwell knows what he's talking about. 6'5", that type of speed. I'd run go routes all the time with him. And let's face it, the NFL, we've had a history of trying this, haven't we? The Cowboys tried Jim Hines way back when, a former Olympic sprinter.
So are you starting the Bolt to the NFL movement or what?
I would love to see it happen, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down. Second and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
There's no doubt about it. That's just one of the best connections in the league. Big Ben throwing it to Antonio Brown. And Antonio Brown has turned himself into such a player. A low-round draft pick, but you can't beat his determination or work ethic. And Big Ben welcomes that.
And Big Ben won a Super Bowl at 23, youngest ever to do so, has never looked back. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll make this a second down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
They come up with one running back. That's Bell. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make it second down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They'll come out in the pistol. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive.
3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. Now Roethlisberger to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up 4th down. Back now in Foxborough. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Boswell's kick is good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give him some breathing room and lets him build up a little cushion.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And now out come the Patriots. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Slant route caught by Edelman. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Now Lewis. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. So it'll be first down here after the run. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Brady now on first down. And this complete to Mitchell. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. 12 yards on the pickup. And it'll be first down, New England.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play. And sometimes it can break big.
Now Brady. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Stephon Tuitt in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Hey, guys, check me out. We got 3 down. We got to stand up there. Let's go! 220!
On second down, here's Brady. And he fires to Edelman, complete on the comebacker. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Throwing on first down is Brady. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And he's brought down after a good game.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. They slot Gronkowski outright. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Into the red zone, it's Brady. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down.
Single receiver. Hey, you're in 20.
Again, they'll throw with Brady. And this is caught. It's Edelman. And he's brought down. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with second down coming up.
One of the notes I had about LeGarrette Blount coming out of college, he's not going to outrun you, but he will run through you. In these situations near the goal line, made to order.
Maybe they'll turn to his big frame again. Second and goal as the offense looks to try to punch it in. And he's going to be shoved back short of the goal line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half, you're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
And not going to get much better than that.
And now a fumble. Brady loses the football, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And now look at him go. The 40, 30, 20, 10. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that, and that's what they've done all game long.
And they'll get set here looking for the two-point conversion. Roethlisberger looking to throw. Now been hit, and he lost the football. It's loose.
Well, partner, since this new two-point rule came into play, offenses spend a lot more time working on it. That means the defenses are doing the exact same thing.
That's fielded in the end zone. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. They slot Gronkowski outright. On first down, Brady. Over the middle, that's caught by Hogan. And he's brought down after a good gain. They'll get 23 yards there. And it gives the Pats a first down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Over the middle, Julian Edelman, it's complete. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Fresh set of downs here. On first and 10, here's Brady. Trying for Edelman again. This time he's got it. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a first and goal. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
They run. This is Lewis. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still...
And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Arthur Moats. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They have the big cushion here in the final stages of this one. I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it, all those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moments of this one. All right, Charles, so you win the game. Not only do you get the W in the left-hand column, you get some momentum for the coming week.
Now when you go into the week and you're telling the guys what mistakes have to be corrected, what we have to do to win going forward, you have their full attention. They're excited, they're happy, and they know if they can build that momentum, they can ultimately achieve all their goals.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. And with that, we say so long from Foxborough.
seclorum, e pluribus unum. They changing climates and replacing humans and fracking soils, while bulldozing forests. But they can't defeat us, they could not destroy us.
Are we dreaming the same dream of money, guns, and gasoline?
For the average team, CFOs are after cream. GMOs extracting genes with everyone on my GPS.